G'day Shredders, today I'm going to teach you one of the most iconic solos in all of rock and metal history, the incredible Crazy Train solo by Randy Rhoads. Alright, so we start off with this great tapping lick, and we're going to be tapping using the tip of the pick. So I'm just using the inside of the tip right against where the string meets the fret. And I'm just doing this little pecking motion to get our two notes happening. Now the other hand is on the 7th fret and the 10th fret of the B string. We're going to be using our ring finger for that 10. And we're just going to tap, pull off, and then we'll pull off the 10 to 7 and then back. And we end up with this great 6-note pattern. And then we move the pick up to the 15th fret. Now next up, the fretting hand is going to take over as we reach for the whammy bar with the picking hand. So we're just going to be trilling between the 9th and 12th fret like this. I recommend you use your ring finger for this, your pinky might get tired. And we just want to do a casual dip of the bar, a dip and a release. And then we're going to finish it by doing this lick. So this is all legato. So we're just sticking 10 and 9, middle finger and index, and then ring finger. And then it would usually go here in the 9th fret, but we're going to be moving position for our bend. So we've got... Now don't stress about how many 12 to 9s to do. This is not the kind of thing that Randy would have sat and counted out. I believe he's playing quintuplets here, but he's not thinking that way. He's just basically cramming in as many notes as he could. And then he's just finishing the lick by going... So if you have to do that a bit slower, and then go for the lick at the end, that's absolutely fine. Okay, so now it's time for those great bends. So we're just thinking about the ring finger note here on the 9th fret, almost as if you're in B minor pentatonic. That's probably a more common place you'd be thinking about this. Now we're actually in F sharp minor pentatonic, but it will serve the purpose for this part. So we're just going to go, and then pinky on the B string on the 10th fret. And then here we're going to be doing two things that are really important for the Randy Rhoads sound. One, you want to do a slow bend. Don't go really eke it out. And secondly, we want to pile on some vibrato. So from the start, 3, 4. And now we move up to our main bass position on the 14th fret. So we're just thinking F sharp minor pentatonic here. And we're just going to be starting on the E string before going to the B string and doing a bend. So I'm using my ring finger here, ring, middle, index, and then bend. And once again, we've got a slow bend with some sassy vibrato. So Randy didn't have a slow, bluesy vibrato like most metal guitarists. He had a very fast, angry kind of vibrato. And it was quite wide at times. Now I like to rake into that first note. So if you've got the extra mental energy, go for it. If you don't, add it later. And now we kind of did the same lick in reverse. So I'm just thinking index, middle, ring finger, bend. And of course I'm smothering that in vibrato. All right, here's where things get a little bit more sassy. So we're going to go... All right, so here's how the first two beats of the run goes. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So I'm thinking about my pinky finger here, because that'll make the middle finger easier to hit those 15s. And then when I'm ready, I can just take the unnecessary picks out and I'm left with how Randy played it. So obviously using hammer-ons and pull-offs will make it easier to play faster. The only reason I get you picking it from the start is so that you understand what all the picked notes should be, rather than just taking a pick offline and just using random ups and downs with the point and shoot method. I definitely don't recommend that here. Now the last two beats go, and if we use hammer-ons and pull-offs, so we've got And then we just have another big bend at the end. And we're just going to be bending up there and putting the pinky on the B string, just like we did down here. And then we do a whammy dip. So this is really important to have both these notes ringing out beautifully, so that it sounds extra raucous when you bend them out of tune with the whammy bar. And then you just release it. It's just a quick dip. And then we play the index finger note. So we've got using this 16th note grid system makes it far more intuitive to stay in time and makes it easy to remember what the actual ups and downs are. All right, next up we've got the finger burning trills. So we're going to start off just by ascending through our minor pentatonic from the G string, and then when we get to the E string, we're just going to be thinking index and ring finger for this entire lick. You can use your pinky if you're a psychopath, but make it easy and use the stronger finger, trust me. So we start off with this minor third shape, and then we want to be thinking about this major third shape up here on our A note on the 17th fret. Happy, sad, minor third, happy, major third. So we want to get up there smoothly in time for beat one of the next bar. And that's how we're going to do it. So we're just going to crawl our way up chromatically, which is something Randy loved to do. So we're going to do one above twice, and then we'll do one more, and then we move into A. So we have... Now, if you don't get the timing of that perfect, don't worry about it. This is very free time. You'll notice that in the live versions, Randy did it much more straight and 16th, like. And that's fine. The live version's cool, but it doesn't have the same pizzazz of the studio version. And the studio version is what I'm teaching you today. All right, so next up we're pivoting off our A note, and then we're going to move down a fret to our G sharp note, and we'll do our minor third shape. And then we have this cool little thing here where we go up to the string above. I don't know if this is a mistake or not, but it's in there and it sounds cool. And we're just going to do this cool little maneuver. So we're going to the string above, and then just by removing this finger, you actually get this note ringing again. So from the start, we've got 3, 4. And then we do a few more beats on G sharp before we resolve back down in F sharp. So what we've got here is an F sharp note, and the one note that you never want to play in the key of F sharp is G, a semitone above, but that's exactly what Randy does here, and he actually does this relatively often. He'll just sneak this minor 9 note in, and it always sounds great when he does it. So we're just going to go with an up strum, and then down on the ring finger note on the B string, and then we'll pivot back up to the F sharp, and then we'll finish with a bend. All right, so hopefully that's pretty familiar to you now, because we've done it here, and we've done it here, and we're doing it here. So we're just thinking ring finger and then pinky on the same fret, and we have that same wild vibrato. So we've got all right, so then we have that controversial lick where he goes, we descend into the next part of the solo. Now, one guitar does that, so middle finger on our 15, and we just walk down the scale. But another part goes, which creates a nice little clash, a little bit of dissonance. And you'll notice in the play along at the end of the lesson that I've actually triple tracked it and I've left one of these parts in. All right, so we descend through the scale into this nice little pentatonic loop. All right, so all we're thinking is down, on the index finger note, and then we're going to go down, up, down on the ring finger, index ring finger on the string above, and then we'll do an up on our first note. So you should be able to get that pretty fast and snappy. Even if your picking is a bit sloppy, if you mute the strings correctly with your left hand, you should have no issues with this. If you want to make it easier, then just take the picks out and go. Now, some eagle-eared listeners might notice that Randy actually goes like this in one of his guitar tracks. But if you listen closely, there's one that's going and one going. And once again, I've made sure to duplicate this effect in the play-alongs at the end of the lesson. So we're going to do this 4 times, but instead of going back to our A note, we're going to change to our G sharp note after the last one. So we'll go. And that's when we're going to do this cool little trill. So we're just thinking index middle on the G string here. And then, so we've just got middle finger to pinky, kind of like a power chord. And just give it a nice shake, as usual. All right, now the run that took me decades to get my head around. It's actually so much simpler than it sounds. So back when I first learned this run in 2002, the Ultimate Guitar tab said to play something like this. And I just knew it was wrong. It didn't make any sense rhythmically, it didn't make any sense in terms of technique, and luckily it was not how Randy played it at all. Randy was far smarter than that. So we're going to be deviating from the scale a bit here, which is something that Randy loved to do, especially if it meant he could play faster with ease. All right, and we're just going to be doing this friendly shape of 1, 2, 4. So the first, second, and fourth finger. And we're just going to go down, up, down, up, down, up, just with nice, friendly 16th notes. So. And now the fun begins. So we're going to do the same shape on the next string, but we'll just do 1 pluck because we're going to switch to doing triplets. So we have 3, 4. And then we're going to take the same shape and move it up by 2 frets. So once again, we're resuming our Dorian sound here. So notice how much easier that is to play than. And then we're going to finish our lick off by moving to the 14th fret. We're just going to do this nice little. So the first triplet starts on 14. And then we slide in time for the index finger to take over in 17, which is the start of the next triplet. We're just going to go hammer on, and then up, down, and we bend that note. And then we resolve the bend, because it's over an E chord, and we need a B note to fit our E chord. So even then, if you fluff this bit, and you don't get nice clean triplets, the fact that you're starting each triplet with a pick means that whatever happened in the previous triplet is somewhat forgiven. It means that even if you're a little bit sloppy, there's a checkpoint waiting for you to reset from every single chunk, and it makes it so much easier to play fast. Now make sure those last 2 notes have plenty of vibrato. And if you listen closely to the original isolated part, you can actually hear the G string is ringing slightly. So this solo doesn't need to be technically perfect to sound good. Now, if you're finding these licks difficult and you want to learn more about Randy's style of playing, then I have a course called Shred Like Randy, where we're going to be breaking down all of these licks and all of the techniques that Randy used in his solos. As you've probably just noticed from this final run, it's actually pretty simple if it's broken down the right way. But if you just look up the tab and see a jumble of notes, things can get real confusing real quick. That is the goal of this course, to break down Randy's playing and to make it easy for you to go and learn any of his solos. Because while Randy was a god, he was also a human being who used patterns and shapes to create the magic that he did. You'll also get this Crazy Train amplitude preset that I'm using right now, as well as amplitude presets for all the Ozzy Osbourne covers I do. So that's Shred Like Randy. Check it out in the link in the description. Okay, shredders, just before we go and drill it, please let me know if this lesson was helpful for you. Let me know if there are any other Ozzy Osbourne or Randy Rhoads solos you'd like me to teach you. Maybe we could do I Don't Know or Mr. Crowley. Let me know in the comments and I'll get cooking. Let's go and drill the solo. Alright shredders, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out my Shred Like Randy course and I'll see you next time.